Hello, people of the internet. My name is Ninja Super Squid, also known as Death Rigger, also known as Ridiculous. Boy, I sure do have a lot of names, but what I don't have a lot of is time. And today, I'm going to show you how I save time when I want to run my Mythic keys. Let's get right into it with step number 1. Okay, so first things first, we're going to look at what key we have. We have a Miss 13 that we're going to do. I'm going to tank that. So, what we need to do first is get our route figured out. What route are we going to take to do the dungeon? One add-on I like to use is called Mythic Dungeon Tools. It is insanely handy, and I don't know how I did dungeons without it. Now, where do you get the routes that you're going to be using? Well, I'll show you. First, we're going to go to this website right here, icyveins.com/wow/weekly mythic dungeon MTD routes. This link will be in the description, and you can click it down there. So then we do Control F, and we type in the dungeon we're going to do. We're going to be doing Mists of Turnaside. So we type in Mists of or you can just type in Mists. It works either way. And there it is. So this will be the route that we're going to want to take. It'll show us the pulls, how much percentage each mob will give us. And what we want to do is we want to do the copy MTD import string. So you click it and you'll see it says copied. Okay, now that we've done that, we want to go back to the game. We want to click on the Mythic Dungeon Tools add-on and click on this red import button. You press Control V, you press OK, you press import, there's your route. You can also adjust this to accurately show health, but it doesn't really matter. These are the affixes. It'll show you each pull you need to do. You can even click on them and it'll highlight them for you. This is insanely useful. Now, before we get our group together, I want to show a particular nuance. These little things are like little notes. So you can pass through this door right here if you have a Night Fae, or you can purge a spell or whatever. And then there's one like this. Skip this pack by CCing Dressed Harvester number 5, which is this one. You can right click on him and see what he would be affected by. I did this dungeon last night with my guildies, and we tried frost trapping him, and he saw us and, you know, pulled the rest of these guys. This wasn't fun. So if you look here, you'll notice it frost trap isn't actually on here. Repentance, silence, imprison, sap, taunt, polymorph, disorient, stun, slow, fear, incapacitate, and mind control. So what I'm gonna do at least is I am going to go into my talents and I'm gonna spec into repentance because I will need that for this dungeon. And you just go through these different notes. There's different, you know, each note helps. Okay, so now that we've got our route, we've read all the notes, we are going to get a group. So we go into the pre-made dungeon finder, you go in groups, you hit dungeons, start a group, type in +13 or whatever key you're doing, type in the name of your dungeon, you select it, you select the right dungeon and make sure it's set to Mythic Plus. And then you list. And while we're here, we might as well also make sure the dungeon difficulty is set that it is. Okay. And now, here comes the boring part where you wait. So, I made a bit of a mistake when I recorded this. When I was getting characters to put into the group, I didn't put any in that had hero and, or heroism. And, yeah, just, you should do that when you do this. So, yeah. Moving on, roll the tape. Oh, that was relatively quick. Now, this is a decent looking character right here. This warrior. Ooh, we got a lot more people signing up. His IO score is a little low, and he has only timed 10 to 14. It's only timed 9, 10 to 14 runs. So I'm probably not going to invite him. Same with this guy, 865 and only 6, 10 to 14 runs. I mean, I don't like those odds. Now this guy, he does still have a low IO score, but I see his main's IO score is 1316. He's timed 12 plus 10 to 14 runs. So, I'm going to invite him. He seems pretty, he seems good. Now, I have 2 healers here. I don't know. No, I should probably also tell these guys they didn't make the team. So 2 healers here. 1 healer now. 10 to 14 run. He's done 10 of them. He's done 42 5 to 9 runs. That's pretty good. I trust his ability. I'm just going to keep him waiting for a little bit until we, yeah. Okay, this guy, 23 plus 10 to 14 runs. That's perfect. Doesn't really matter about their I score. It's how many runs they've timed. 28 10 to 14 runs. That's awesome. Okay, now we just need a healer. Now you may be saying to yourself, well, you're being very picky and kind of mean about who you pick. Yes, I am being very picky. I wouldn't say mean about who I pick. I'm just very selective. Yeah, none of these guys are tickling my fancy. So, yeah, we just wait. Usually tanks and healers are the hardest to find people for Mythic Plus dungeons. You don't have that problem because I am the tank. No, I don't like that one, no. So, while we're waiting for a healer to sign up, we'll go on to our next step, which is why I'm in Stormwind. We gotta buy some shit. You don't have to do this. This is an optional step, but it greatly helps. Let's see how much cauldrons are going for. And that's a battle pet. They're actually not called cauldrons, are they? What are they called? Oh well. Well, we don't need a spirit, we don't need a cauldron. That's one of the more expensive things, but a relatively cheap thing to buy is the Feast of Gluttonous Hedonism. That's $2 grand, but it's worth it. Trust me. We're gonna hit buy now, and if I could remember what the I might as well also favor that. If I could remember what the cauldron for this expansion is called, I would buy one of those too. Okay, we have new healers. Ooh. Now he's a 220 item level, but he's only timed 6, 10 to 14 runs. That screams carry to me. Now this guy, 20 plus 10 to 14 runs, and his IO score is high. What about this guy? Yeah, no. We're going with the Pally. Pally Bros for life. And, even though I can't remember what the cauldron is called, I can still get a flask for myself. But I can't get it for the other people because I can't trade it to them because they're cross-realm. It's going to be the Spectral Flask of Power. Might as well favor that too. And you see, I have good teammates. They're already summoning me. That's awesome. I find the key to good Mythic Plus runs is picking and choosing your team very carefully. You don't want to, you don't want to have a shit team. They're your teammates. You gotta trust them and rely on them. And that's, I guess, that's what Raider IO is for. It helps you weed out the shit players from the good players. Now that's not to say that all players who have a low IO score are shit, but it is a very indicative. Having a low IO score is indicative of kind of being bad. So, enjoy the feast. We put out our feast for our lovely teammates. I already drank my flask. And then we're gonna be like, so here is our route. And I'm gonna put something in funny like, remember it, or not remember, memorize it and follow it to the letter. And it's just a little joke. And then you hit the share button and it shares it. Okay, and then they can click on it and they can hit import and look at the same exact thing that you're looking at. Okay, now we do /ready check, and yeah, he's right. Follow the tank is the plan. Okay, everyone's ready. We're gonna do /pull10 to give them fair warning. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
5, 4, 3, 2,
1, go. And now this is the part where I'm gonna talk a little less. I might do a voiceover, but if I don't, you're just gonna hear some pretty banging music. So yeah, Past Me was right. I didn't talk much during the dungeon, and I'm gonna do a voiceover. Didn't he mention something about banging music? Ah, there it is. The dungeon had every opportunity to succeed, but we didn't. Through equal fault on all parties, we didn't time the key. This probably didn't help that we didn't have anyone who could do heroism. Anyway, the start of the dungeon was okay-ish. The healer died on the first pull, and I feel that just set the entire mood for the rest of the dungeon. That CC skip I talked about with Repentance did work though, and I'm quite proud of that. We skipped that pat and moved right on to grab our shrooms and then fight the Ingram Malak boss, or whatever his name is. The good news, however, ends from there. We managed to stay alive through the entire dungeon, except on the last boss, where we wiped once. And when we wiped, we had like 30 seconds left, and maybe, I can't remember how much health the boss had left, but we might have made it. I feel like if we had someone who could do hero, maybe just a smidgen more DPS, we would have timed that key easy. Anyway, well, that's all I can say about that. Please enjoy the rest of the video. Well, there you have it. That's one of the first videos on the channel that I've actually put some actual effort into. I'm going to try and make more content like this, actual engaging content instead of just streaming and little 5-second clips here and there. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you get notified when I upload next. Links to the Icy Veins page I used are in the description. And also in the description are links to my social media and my Twitch. And unless I'm forgetting anything, that's pretty much it. This has been Ninja Super Squid, and have a nice day.